they turned out that it's actually Chip from the original series that remember from the episode where I think Rogue didn't do something, so the ship ended up dying. It was kind of her fault, and I remember her apologizing to Beast, and he was crying.
That sounds all right.
Not too much. I did think that, well, maybe not. I don't know. Rogue kind of deserved a little lashings in this because at the beginning of this episode, they're all arguing about whether or not to go.
This should have never been an argument.
There should have at all. This should have been no debate, anything. Leave. Shout out to Bishop. Bishop kept saying, let's leave. We don't need to be here. We can leave. But of course, Rogue was like, oh, well, maybe if we could change Apocalypse's mind, let's give Eric a chance to playing a shot.
Even Bishop was like, it's already happened. He's already the bad guy. The Destinies, and Beast was like, and we're destined to be here. No, go home.
We can leave. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Another Relaunch. I am Neil Shara, a.k.a. Thunderbird, a.k.a. we still working on that name.
I am Basil Carlo, a.k.a. Clayface. But
okay.
Let me say, I like Thunderbird for his name, even though it doesn't really make sense, but I just like it.
Thunderbird is a cool ass name. That alone is just a cool name. But it's already Proudstar's name.
I mean, didn't he die?
It also doesn't make sense. He did? I thought they brought him back on.
I remember he came back with Krakoa, but didn't a bunch of them get sent back away or die again? Was he one of those people, or did he stay?
No, you feel like he doesn't, bitch. I thought everybody made it out.
They had the whole thing, a bunch of them got stuck in the white hot room, and that's where the little fly boy was, Kafka.
Right, but I thought that was just basically the extra people who were stuck on Krakoa, they got left. I don't know, he was a part of that.
They didn't really specify. They were saying a bunch of people stayed. And I was under I'm not going to say I was under the impression, but I figured they would try and use it as a way to get rid of some of those people who had died in the past. And they knew they weren't going to use again. It's okay, these people came back up. We'll just go ahead and put them here. So they're still technically alive, but we never going to see them again. And he's just a person who I feel like I haven't seen again. So I just thought he was one.
You know what? I like your way of thinking. Let's go with that.
I mean, he could still be running around. I don't know. Again, it's just not in the books that I have read. I've seen Warpath also hasn't really been in them either. So it's but I know he wasn't.
Wasn't he when he wasn't in NYX?
Oh, NYX? No,
he wasn't doing nothing with the New Mutants or anything over there.
No, nothing.
Damn, I made that up.
Maybe I have to remember. I'm really trying to think. Sync, Prodigy, the Cuckoos, Wolverine, Caliban. Caliban was there. Maybe you're thinking of him?
Maybe I'm thinking of Caliban.
He was leading the new Morlocks that had some of the Iraqi mutants.
I don't know why I thought he was with Caliban. He wasn't helping them?
Yeah. That was a Noel that was helping him. He went down there with the Morlocks.
What else Warpath at? Oh, wait. Is he an Inglorious X-Force?
So there is a issue that got solicited that has previous X-Force members fighting the current Inglorious X-Force team. And Warpath is one of those previous members. But the way that team mission has been going, they've been going to the past a lot. And the future is time travel, cable stuff. So it's they might just be grabbing X-Force members from the past or different timelines.
Damn. Okay, Warpath, where you at?
Rescue the King.
We gotta find him. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good. It is a rainy, gloomy day. Oh wait, the sun's actually peeking out a little bit right now. I lied.
Okay.
It has been a rainy, gloomy day. It was for most of the week, but it's also been really hot. You know when it's 100 degrees, but then it's also raining? Mm-hmm. That's been the weather. It's been crazy.
It probably feels like muddy and
Yeah, like, oh, 4th of July was nasty. You knew that was not a good. That was not a good weekend for the nation's capital. I can tell you that right now.
Usually isn't.
How are you doing?
I am good. You know, the weather out here has been a lot better. I will say, it's been great. So I'll try not to rub it too much in your face. But yeah, I've been all right. Just staying out of trouble.
That's good. That's all you can do, really.
Trying. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into these updates of the week. First of all, I'm going to just go ahead and start this one off with, let me give a shout out to Mr. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for his Emmy nomination for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series for Marvel Television's Wonder Man. Yes, that is right, everybody. Wonder Man is a Emmy-nominated character.
And you know, that is
wow.
Like the meta commentary on it all of like being nominated for an Emmy for Wonder Man for Simon Williams, who wants to be an actor in a show and he like gets fame and all this. Like, I love it.
Hello. Clearly, everybody knows who I'm cheering for here. I hope he does get it. I didn't even see who the other nominees were because I like...
matter. The nominees list was terrible this year, honestly. But he deserves. And I actually started watching his Netflix show, Man on Fire. A nice show. Yeah.
Is it a remake of the other show?
Yeah, it's like an extension of that. You know, he's been out of the field for a while, and so someone wants to hire him for a job, and he doesn't really want it, but then the person who wants to get him in gets killed, so now he got to find out, so now he's brought back in, and so he's tussling with people. Got to rescue some girl who don't know what to do. She out in Brazil with some boys. Like, go home. But I'm invested if you can.
I see. I love that. Yeah, so shout out to him. I'm super excited for the show to get that recognition. I hope he does win that award. And some more sour news. Xbox is laying off 3,200 employees, which was about 20% of their workforce. Now, they are thinking of spinning off or selling Arkane Lyon, Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, and Undead Labs. Now, for the gamers out there, these are some of the games that I've been working on, like the Blade game, as well as, I think, Ninja Theory. I know them from the Ninja Gaiden games, I believe.
Yeah. In fact, I do not like the Ninja Gaiden games. I did, yeah. And I remember playing 1 and 2. And I was just, the mechanics of it, like the moves, I was not into it at all. Skipped 3.
That's crazy.
Came back 4. I think 4? Ninja Gaiden 4? Did not like it still. And I was just like, you know what? This just isn't a game for me.
I liked it. I was a fan. They had me. They did the Devil May Cry remake and the Heavenly Sword. Played that on PlayStation.
I've never played the Devil May Cry games. I did watch the anime on Netflix. It changed a lot from what I heard.
Oh. What is with them trying to like change so much about these people just killing like demons and stuff? Like, I feel like that should be a very easy, adaptation.
I feel like a lot of people who get into these type of businesses and like get in these projects, they don't actually like the stuff. But like, and I'm not gonna say that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like for a lot of them, there's people who get on these features and they're like, I'm not even gonna say they don't like it. They're just not super fans. They're not big fans, but they see that like, oh, this can be an interesting story, but like, it's too fantastical, so I got to make it a little bit more real, or I got to give it like more heart, or I got to like do something to change it, even though that's already in the original story. They just see the fantasy and think that's too much. So like when they come in, stuff starts getting pared down, and it's just like, well,
that's one of the things I also like the least about a lot of like more modern creators, especially when they come into these kind of like fantasy spaces, especially with superhero stuff. Everybody know I'm like diehard fan of superheroes. There's nothing more annoying than a person saying, well, what if we like take the superhero stuff out? Because I don't like that stuff. I think that's silly. Like,
oh, they're running around in spandex. That's a little silly. Yeah, they're fighting an alien god from space.
that's the point.
Like, we're gonna get silly with it.
It's okay. Live a little. But yeah, I really.
Silly.
I
forgot where I was.
That's right. All right, Natalie. You been doing what you want.
What I want.
It's very unfortunate that they are letting go a lot of these people, as well as like selling and potentially spinning off these different studios. Hopefully, Arkane Lyon could be able to still self-finance themselves and still come up with that Blade game.
I mean, because like the hype is there. Absolutely. It's really interesting to me how like a Blade project is just so difficult for so many people, and despite all of that, the demand is still there and it's still so high that people want it and they're excited for it. That Tolkien Fighting Souls game trailer with him released, and like everybody was,
oh my god, it was huge. It was so like the response to it was so big,
like amazing.
I'm not even gonna hold you. They need to go ahead and they need to go ahead and take that synergy from that, because I like the idea of Blade having the Muramasa blade. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I had literally never thought about the idea of like, oh, why doesn't Blade have that sword? I never thought about that.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's so weird. And it's like, even with the Arkane and Blade game, they were talking about it's over budget. And like, why are we over budget? Like, what are we spending all the money on? It's like, we got $15.
Make your zombie designs.
The vampire.
Yeah, the vampire designs, yeah.
That's what everything else. Like, what's happening? What are we making? That was so, I don't know. I just feel like maybe there's pressure from people like behind the scenes, because it's always a thing where like the Blade projects that are coming out are going to be like the next big one. This is supposed to be his first big game, his next movie. That's like, they feel like it has to be this thing, especially, I don't know, after Black Panther. I feel like how impactful that was for a lot of people. They kind of want this to have the same thing. But I just feel like, again, because that hyper demand is there, it's a man fighting vampires. Everybody wants to see it. It's very simple. You put it out, they're going to see it. You put it out, they're going to play it. It's going to do well.
It doesn't take
There's a reason why that movie saved Marvel in the first place.
Clock that. Because let's talk about that. Let's talk about him opening doors and how it shouldn't be that hard for him to do now. Like,
literally, you already did it. Why are we struggling?
It really shouldn't even be that hard. Speaking of some shows being greenlit over on the DC side, a Mr. Terrific series is currently in the works, and Allan Heinberg is going to be writing the pilot. He wrote the Sandman show that was on Netflix. And how do you feel about a Mr. Terrific series? How do you feel about the character at all?
Well, I love Mr. Terrific. Let's start there. Like, I read a lot of his runs. They can be of mixed, levels of enjoyment, but really interesting character. I think he's really dynamic. I love the T-spheres, love the design, love the T-mask, just love everything about him. His son is now back in action as Fair Play in the comics.
His Teen Titans now. Right? He's a Teen Titan.
Yeah, he's going to be on Jason's team, getting mentored. Really excited for that. Really excited for him. I liked the actor who played him in that the Superman movie.
Mm.
So that's cool. Yeah, I think it's going to be dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with his show. It always sucks. This always brings me back to the moment of, speaking of how we talked about Wonder Man earlier. Yahya was my original fan cast for Green Lantern. I wanted him to be Jon Stewart. And my best friend at the time, I was talking to him about that. He was like, this was before he was Black Manta. So I was like, oh, yeah, I really want him to be Green Lantern. And my best friend was like, do you really want him to be like in the DC universe? Like, look what that's looking like now. And I was like, okay, T. Now, same thing with like this stuff with Mr. Terrific. I think this is fantastic, but like, are we even going to get it? Like,
we got the merger. And then even so, some of the stuff that we have gotten so far has just like not been.
It's been just okay at best.
Yeah, so I do see that aspect of it being an issue.
You know, but let me pause for a second. I have a question for you and for the people out there listening too. Do you feel like this DC universe can survive off of these types of projects, like a Mr. Terrific show? Yes, he was already introduced in this Justice League. I'm sorry, see how I called it Justice League? He was introduced in the Justice Gang in the Superman movie, but they haven't really established like the quote unquote bigger characters yet. Do you think the DC universe should continue to put out these types of shows for characters that you probably would not have gotten shows for, like the Mr. Terrifics, the Creature Commandos, the Peacekeeper?
I think characters like Mr. Terrific, yes, I think they're fine. I don't necessarily think like Creature Commandos or Peacemaker need them. I don't think Gorilla Grodd and Jimmy Olsen need it. I do think it worked for Marvel a little bit better to focus on those niche characters because people don't, or at the time, didn't know Marvel characters as well as they did DC. Like everybody knows Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Everyone is waiting for a Wonder Woman project. You keep giving everybody everything else before the stuff that they actually want to see. I feel like that appeal is going to wear off. Like it's only but so many times that you're going to pull out, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some super niche DC character that like James Gunn wanted to do something with. I don't know. What was the rat girl from like Suicide Squad? You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example, yeah.
Giving her a show or something like it's only
they did. They were going to, but I think it got dropped.
Thank goodness. But yeah, just like something like that, where it's just like, but okay, that doesn't make sense when you have, and then you have this Wonder Woman project that you claim is like being worked on and being written. And it's just like, but you've shown you can get things out very quickly. But this is
look at the turnaround time they did with Man of Tomorrow. It was like,
and I think people are going to start, I think for the DC fandom at least, and the DC fans out there, it's going to start getting more frustrated than it was from Marvel. Marvel, I feel like they kind of had to rebuild that trust and rebuild everybody back up. DC, yes, your movies have been terrible, but everyone like has always still looked at your characters as like up there in height. And then for a long time, they still like had their animated movies that people would glaze over. But now it's just that. But again, Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd. Is that what you want to see?
And I mean, no. Sorry, I don't. But you know, they are also working on the Teen Titans movie, allegedly. The writer who was doing the Supergirl movie, and I believe her name is, she is also going to be writing the Teen Titans movie.
It's Anne, isn't it? Her.
That lady.
You know, I just Supergirl reviews were not that nice either.
No.
Again, this also goes back to your question, like once this merge and everything happens, are these movies still gonna come out? Are these projects still gonna go through?
Does it matter? Or are we gonna start over again?
Are we starting over again? Because again, the movies are not doing as well as I'm sure they expected. So it's like, if we start fresh, we might as well start fresh. You're not even bringing in the money. What I need to bring you over here for?
I think the time for all this stuff too, like I don't think they have the time to like stretch things out. I think these movies do have to come out a lot sooner, you know? And I personally don't think that like the universe can survive on
Lobo.
Hell, y'all know me, like one of my top 3 favorite characters is Apollo. I don't think that like an Authority movie would have done that well right now. Like,
nobody know who they are.
Don't nobody know who that is? What about my seat and the one next to me? Like, yes, I'm going.
Well, depending on who was directing, that would make
that. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it.
It's better this way, actually.
It could have been a cut with like a project and like Apollo making like corny jokes.
The gay jokes that
the gay jokes
they would have done together, and people would have done at them. homophobia.
Oh my goodness, that we all supposed to just laugh at.
It's funny.
You know what? Let's go ahead and take a break on that note. Okay.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. The sun is like really shining now. It is totally insane. It has not looked like this. Just because it didn't know we about to talk about comics. It's still too hot, actually. So we won't be doing that. But the comics sun up shining bright, and it was a good week for them. You know, I actually tried a lot of new stuff this week. I feel like I've actually been trying a lot of new stuff the last few weeks, so I'm kind of
you have to
for that, and I want to stay on that ride. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of them. Civil War Unmasked when Christos Gage and Edgar Salazar came out. So there's a Civil War miniseries going on right now. It's a retro miniseries because you know Marvel loves those, and it's basically filling in the gaps of time with a bunch of different characters. I have not read the previous ones. I just know this one featured Tom Foster, Goliath.
love him.
King. And this is basically just him dealing with the fallout of after his uncle Bill was killed by Thor, the machine Thor, in that event, and he's just like angry out. He gets the serum that gives him the abilities. He has a fight with Iron Man, how he joins the demolition crew, and how he kind of makes peace and comes to terms with everything that happened and like stops blaming everybody. So that was a nice little story for him. I think if you're into that character, definitely check that out. Did you hear about Mimi Greene came out? This is an indie book from Connor Goldsmith and Josh Cornillan. It's kind of like interesting. This lady, she is having these issues where she's dreaming, and like in these dreams there's this like monster kind of attacking them, but there's a lot of like body horror and discussions around bodies and appearance and things in the story. That's really cool. Like the second issue that came out this week, like she's been fighting this monster in the dreams, but it's like also bringing other people in. It's kind of like a Freddy Krueger situation a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and like but like she thinks she's in therapy talking to this therapist, but like she's in this abandoned building, so like someone's looking for her, like people are trying to get her out of this mindscape. It's like weird, it's different, she's getting abilities, it looks gross, it's creepy, it's fun. I was interested, so like I think people should check that out. Very talented. Aquaman number 19 came out. Now you know, I actually dropped this book the last issue because I had that Green Lantern appearance, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But
that's what made you snap?
Yes. Like, I was just like, this is too much. It was Hal Jordan specifically.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it was just like, you know what? I was like, it's just not for me. I can't do it. With this issue, I actually went back and picked it up because I heard some stuff about it from some other Aqua fans. It does something that like no other Aquaman book has ever done. So you know how a lot of times in like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman books, all of their villains kind of like get together, or like a big group of their villains get together, and they're like, you know, let's just go take this MF down. It works. That's never really happened with Arthur. A lot of people give him villains, and while they do typically recur in his stories, we don't ever see them working together a lot. This one, like a bunch of his villains come together, and it's just like really cool. It's like, oh, y'all know each other? Like, when that happened? And so I'll give him his 4s for that. My score is still a 4, yes. And
got the ops linking up.
Like, the ops linking up is cool. I think that's just something that Arthur's never had to deal with, so that could be really interesting. But again, this book has been very heavy on like the bait and switch for me. It like sets up something that seems really cool and really interesting, like we're going to do it, and then we get to it and it's like it's something completely different. So it's like, I don't know, we might pop back into space and see that Jarro thing again. It's just, or Hal Jordan might come back for some reason. Who knows? But yeah, I thought that was fun, so I had to mention it. I also picked up this new book. It's called Vampirates from Fred Van Lent with art from Luca Pizzari. It's a Boom Studios book. Now, I saw the title and it said Vampirates, and I was like, is this about vampire and pirates? And it is. And I was like, you know what? This is really cool. If you know me, you know I love vampires. So I'm always going to check something with them out. It's like just a part of me. And as I was reading this, it clicked with me that I was like, I kind of really like pirate stories as well. Like, they're hot. it's just two really hot concepts that come together. And like this one, it takes place in like this weird world. There's a vampire queen. She's crazy. She wants to kill all these people. There are these pirates who they are human, but or human, I should put that in quotes, because they have like abilities, it seems like later on. They're like working with the queen, but then something happens where it's like, actually, no, the vampires are going to kill them. So they got to fight back. Then there's this one girl who's working with the queen. She's basically like, you're going crazy. So the queen's like, yeah, we're going to kill you. So she has to escape. It's very action packed, a lot of fighting. She runs into these pirates and they're like, all right, girl, what you want to do? We're going to keep you around. And it looks like it's going to be a big battle, big war of some sort, fighting at sea. Vampires. The world is like black and red. The suits are hot, really dynamic, cool designs. Loved it. Check it out. Vampires and Pirates again. You can't really go wrong with that.
Okay.
And then there's for my big book of the week. Now, this is the one that I was actually really, really, really excited about. It's Clayface, Celebrity. Yeah, you know. From Jude and Frank Allen. And I've said it before. I'll probably say it again because he's got some stuff coming out. Clayface is a character that I've always really enjoyed. There's been a few different iterations of him, and just kind of like the mindset. Basil is the actor. That's kind of my favorite one. Plays villain sometimes. He's been an ally to Batman. He's in the Harley Quinn show. He's a really great character there. He's been in a lot of stories. He's funny. He's always fighting. It's cool. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, he's getting this book. I want to see what it's about. And I think one thing DC does regularly is like they spotlight their villains or their anti-heroes a lot. And they typically do really well with these type of stories. And I felt like Clayface had this One Bad Day one shot. Was it called One Bad Day? It was this villain one shot thing that happened a few years ago. He had one. And it was kind of like, is this just going to be a retreat of this or that? But this was something completely different. So we start out, we see Basil, he's in Arkham, and he's been the perfect inmate. You know, he's been doing what he's been doing. He's been working on his mental health. He's ready to get out. He thinks he should be released. They like pull him into this room and they like start talking to him about Clayface. Like, you know, you're one of 8 people who have identified as Clayface. You all really have the same DNA. You all have these forms that you can do all these things. You're saying you're Basil Karlo. You're ready to get out. Basil Karlo is in Hollywood right now doing a comeback for a new movie that just came out in front of press, in front of the cameras, all this other stuff. They think he's somebody else, and they're trying to figure out who he is, which one he is. So the rest of the book, of course, he's like, I don't know what's going on. So he has to break out. He uses his abilities. He finds a way. He gets out. And then the rest of the book is basically just kind of like him trying to start piecing things together and figure out, like, who is he? Who is Clayface? Like, is he a part of him? Is he really Basil? Is this other guy him or someone pretending to be him? Who are the others? What does it mean? There's some other people that things are affecting them. They seem to be dying and also turning into like clay type of creatures, but it's not sustainable. So they just end up falling apart, basically. And it just does a lot of stuff with mental health and identity and bridging all of the gaps of like the different iterations of Clayface into one. It kind of actually reminds me a little bit of like how they do some Moon Knight stories dealing with his DID. Not necessarily like that bad or not that bad, but like to that extent.
That insane, yeah.
Yeah, kind of in that same realm. And it just like wasn't something I was expecting from this title at all. And it just really blew me away with the writing. And I'm not familiar with the writing. And I actually think that's been something that's been happening a lot with DC titles, but I really like that. Because it's just like, I don't know where you people are coming from, but it's hot. The talent pool is there.
They've been giving people chances over there.
And it's really cool to see. But like, it was just really great. The art itself was cool. It had like this pulpy noir kind of feel to it, but still like very colorful at the same time. Like, vibe and see the panels of him specifically like breaking out of Arkane prison and like turning into the clay, going through the sewers, flowing through the water, coming back up to reform himself out the sewers, and like the mental process of he talks about like the breakdown and how it affects him and like putting himself back together. It's just like all these really cool things that are happening that they're talking about in it. And like as you deal into this investigation or this mystery of like who is Basil, what's going on, how are we going to get there, it's just like really cool to see. So first issue kind of blew me away. I'm really excited for what's next to come. I think if you have ever been interested in Clayface, this is definitely the thing to pick up. Like I said, there have been like a lot of different iterations of it. This one does a really good job at like noting them and kind of like piecing it all together and making it so you can understand and digest it a little bit better. And it's great. Like Clayface, like this was definitely like a 5-star book for me this week. And so I just had to really shout this out, pick it up, go read it. It's amazing. It feels great to have new books.
I love that. Shout out to Clayface. I've always been interested in like, those kind of like actor-y kind of characters, obviously with Simon Williams and stuff. And it's interesting to see like the more villain side. I've always found it interesting about Clayface that he like, at least from my understanding, he like don't really want to be a villain. Like he
really just wants to act.
Yeah, he just really wants to act.
On a stage.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Even though I don't want that for Simon. Like, I like that Simon's a superhero. Like, I don't want a superhero. I don't want him to ever get rid of that.
And, it's actually kind of funny to bring that up because I just think about Clayface again. He just popped up in Zatanna's book and he was like helping her defeat Allura. And it's like, I wonder if this time was also going to kind of tie back into that. Like, was that Basil the one that is currently on this press run? Is that the one that's in Arkham Towers? Like, is that a different one? I mean, I don't know if there's going to be that type of connectivity here, but like, it's just something interesting to think about in the realm of Clayface. Great character. You could do so much with him. This is what it's all about.
Shout out to good comics.
Okay. And on that note, let's go ahead and take a break.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the watch section of the show. And this week we'll be talking about episode 4 of X-Men 97 season 2. And this episode was part 2 of the Rise of Apocalypse episode, directed by Chase Conley and written by Bo DeMaio and Anthony Saletti. I pronounce their last name. And I mean, right off the bat, I will say I had a great time with this episode. It was pretty solid. I do think that this might become one of those times where it's very apparent that, it's some time for some people to go. That,
yes,
some characters, it might be time for them to do other things now. Like, it might be time for them to go. But overall, like I said, I had a solid time with this episode. What did you think overall?
I did not like this episode that much.
Oh, okay.
I was actually like very bored. And I think like also just kind of following up on what I said last week off episode 3, I was like, I think I'm really okay on like Charles and Magneto kind of just monologuing at each other and like having these moments. And I think and this is just kind of like a me thing personally, I think one thing that I've become frustrated with in a lot of movies and TV shows is like characters doing like obviously dumb things just to do them. And so it's like when Magneto broke like Bishop's like wrist things and like, oh, we're gonna stay here and do all this. Just like, why are we doing this?
Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the episode, right? So like at the top of the episode, Magneto ends up protecting everybody with a magnetic force field, and he was able to only save basically the X-Men around him from this big blast that Rama Tut has sent over. Now, and Sabanur is getting upset about everything. He's about to go off. Xavier is like, let me explain something to you. Like, please, I can be real with you. I'll tell you everything. He ends up telling them, he's like, we're looking for this ancient temple because like it's got this power that we want. Rama Tut ends up telling Xavier later that he's like, hey, which I thought was interesting to like give him his own element, which I'm assuming was supposed to be like a parallel,
like his Cerebro.
Yeah, his own Cerebro. I wonder if they were trying to say that like Cerebro is like some kind of extra technology or something like that. Like it's like I don't know, created from some kind of special technology. Either way, I thought it was interesting that he had his own Cerebro. I also don't recall Kendra ever being like his assistant, basically.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
That was new. But you know, it's an adaptation. They're going to change a few things around.
Sure thing. And it's fine, I guess, to like kind of slot her in there. Not gonna hold y'all. I do think I like this version of Kendra more than just the regular blonde version in the comics.
It's not surprising. The design is a little bit more distinct here. And it is nice. And I will say, like, and I know I said, like, I didn't like this episode a whole lot, but like there were still aspects of it I liked. I think, and we'll talk about it again later, but like the comment he made to her, like when he, about, you know, her destiny just beginning, I thought that was really interesting and like a nice little nod to her.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. So during this whole like mind conversation, Rama tells Xavier of like, you know, you can't let Nora get into this temple, blah, blah, blah. Xavier is like, no, we need to go and like find this temple help. We're going to go and use inside of Nora's memories to kind of figure out where it is. I thought it was interesting to see like Apocalypse's whole like origin story here kind of play out.
That was
felt very much like the comic. There's a comic, The Rise of Apocalypse, which I thought was interesting to kind of see in like animated and adapted. And then we see that like there were these constellations in the sky of the celestial ship, the celestial Isan, and they find out where the ship is. Well, I keep calling it ship because that's what it ends up becoming. Yeah, it was actually, they kept calling it a temple. When they get inside, by they I mean the X-Men, they turns out that it's actually ship from the original series that we remember from the episode where I think Rogue like didn't do something, so like the ship ended up dying. It was kind of her fault, and I remember her apologizing to Beast, and he was crying.
That sounds right.
Not too much. I did think that, well, maybe not. I don't know. Rogue kind of deserved a little lashings in this because at the beginning of this episode, they're all arguing about whether or not to go.
This should have never been an argument.
There should have at all. Like this should have been no debate, anything. Like leave. Shout out to Bishop. Bishop kept saying, "Let's leave. We don't need to be here. We can leave." But of course, Rogue was like, "Oh, well, maybe if we could change Apocalypse's mind, let's give Eric a chance. Just playing a shot."
Even Bishop was like, "It's already happened. He's already the bad guy. Like the destiny is," and Beast was like, "And we're destined to be here." That like, no, go home.
We can leave. So then, of course, shit hits the fan once they end up getting inside the ship. Apocalypse sees inside of the ship that like he's like, "Oh my gosh, like I was supposed to become like this big thing. You guys were hiding all this from me." He ends up like becoming one with the celestial technology. He has his magical girl transformation.
I will say that was great. Like again, like I'll never take the animation away from the show. Like that looked really good. The whole scene of him like grabbing it, the purple energy coming around, like the crystallization of it popping off. His poor face like going from full to like smushed.
He was juicy.
Really great stuff. Like, yeah,
it
looks
celestial
really
juice.
It did his job, but that looked really, really good.
Yeah, I did think that looked really great. And I liked it that we also got to see kind of the reasons of why he is Apocalypse. Just the entire Isan telling him like, you know, you are going to be destruction. You are going to become the end of all things, because from the end of all things, something new will come. And that's going to be what the point you serve. Like, if that's what you want to do, he got the power to do it. And so, yeah, I thought that it was interesting to see kind of all of that. And once he comes out of his transformation, Apocalypse also, like it's up.
He was tearing them up. And like, even like before the transformation, like just tearing them up. Poor Bishop was getting just tossed around. Those blasts that did absolutely nothing.
There was nothing for my boy to absorb.
Like he couldn't even absorb the kinetic energy from when he hit the floor, apparently. Like
the only thing he absorbed was all the common sense in the room, because he was the only one ready to go.
Maybe that's where it all went, because there was nothing else for him to do. And then even Rogue, when she came in and she tried to do her little thing, he had knocked her back too. I was like, he is tearing these people up. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. it really shows you Apocalypse is fantastic. Easily
Amazing.
top 5 villain for me. So it's really cool to see him here kind of really have his own like origin story and stuff really brought around, and to show you that he's not to be messed with. Because again, we see him fighting Magneto, and of course, because Magneto sent the rest of the X-Men back to the present, and but after the transformation, Apocalypse has this big blast. He ends up they get caught in it. Magneto and Xavier are left behind. Of course, Magneto not gonna let you hurt his man, so
that was cute when he like jumped in. I was like, but you know, this is one of those things where people need to remember that Charles Xavier has telekinesis. Okay, he can get up, put himself back.
Yes, he could have. I guess gotten himself up a little bit and got himself back into the chair. But you know, I think he was just a little terrified. He'd been knocked around. He tried to use his.
Okay, he did keep getting knocked out of the chair, but like just the drama of him like falling around all this entire episode, I was like, okay, like we get it.
Yeah. He was using his telepathic powers. At one point, he was able to hurt Apocalypse. Then the Apocalypse, it was turned.
He said, "You got in once." Oh, that's how you do that.
Said put an end to that real quick, and then he uses ship. Apocalypse uses ship to decide to go straight to where Ramatut is, because he knows that Ramatut was actually the pharaoh who, like, enslaved, in Sabanor, which I thought was interesting. That it highlighted, I think, something that isn't very highlighted often about the fact that when Kang went back in time during this era and became Ramatut and became a pharaoh, like he was still a pharaoh, which means like he was like enslaving people.
It did touch on that, and it was just like, this is what you wanted to come back and do, like you were for real, brother. Yeah. Like,
but of course, once he became Apocalypse, he said, "Oh." It's time.
He got out of there dip. And Kendra was like, what are you doing?
Where you going? And his ass gonna start talking riddles, talking about some, oh, you know, you might in the future you might become external. She's like, girl, what the hell that mean?
But that's the part I didn't really think that was cool. You know, I love the externals and their whole news stories. So
yeah,
I thought that was a little trick. And I was just like, oh my God, maybe this is how her and Apocalypse gonna get connected too. And that was, I mean, we'll probably never see that aspect. Maybe in season 3, maybe a little tidbit again. I don't know. But if we do, cool.
Well, all we know is that she was an external in the original series as like the one who they offered their tithes to. So I think they were just kind of like saying, you know, in the future, in the 90s.
In the 90s. That's the other thing. We keep specifically saying that we are going back to the 90s. We know. You could just say to our time. We know we're going back to the 90s.
The show is called 97. Okay. You don't got to keep telling us that we're going to the 90s.
Every side.
They do want to remind you of that. But then we see that Apocalypse uses a ship to basically destroy all of the entire city. Kang leaves, and the city gets a black hole dropped on it. Magneto is like, I'll do what I can to stop this thing. And he does, which I thought this entire animated area looked really cool. This entire scene really awesome. Shout out to them. Magneto basically holds a black hole, throws down the celestial ship at it to really stop it, and then he survives at the end. Well, he survived that moment because
sort of, kind of,
yeah, sort of, kind of, because he lands, and you know he is just laid out in the ground with. Xavier is like, oh my God, Magnus, I'm coming to you. Let me crawl to my man. Literally. But then Apocalypse shows up and he says, go ahead, Xavier, tell him it's going to be okay the way you told him me. And they get to crying and reaching out to each other. And then Apocalypse vaporizes Magneto and kills him. And he is about... I will say this moment was wild to me because seeing Magneto get vaporized was wild, because normally in storytelling, the saying is like, unless you see the person be dead, like vaporized.
You'll see the body.
Unless you see the body, then that means they're dead. But we saw his body get vaporized. So
yeah,
we don't. Obviously, they can bring him back any way they want to because it's comic books. But I think for the time being, he will be dead.
I think I would be okay with that, especially because I just personally feel as though we've been getting a lot of like the death of Magneto. It kind of feels like he's become like the Kenny of Marvel. Like it's like we're killing him, bringing him back, killing him, bringing him back. We're faking the death that we gave him to show he's still alive, to do something else. So like when he got vaporized, I was like, oh, he's getting vaporized, but like I feel like I didn't have the impact that it should have, because it's like he got vaporized, but like they're probably just gonna bring him back.
I agree.
That's kind of took it away from me. The moment with Charles calling to him was like nice, I guess. The Charles Apocalypse stuff was hot. Like they were kind of going back and forth. Charles being like, your mother was right. Apocalypse being like,
whoa. I'm not gonna hold you. That part gagged me because he killed your man in front of you, and Xavier said, "Oh, we going straight below the belt." That's why your mama left you.
I thought the whole part where Charles was like, you'll never be a god, and he was like, but I will always be. I was like, oh, that was hot. That was hot. Yeah, Apocalypse ate that. So I was like, those two. I think a lot of their moments were like really strong for me. Like I said,
and then him spitting the Magneto bar back at him about the like, only a coward steps on.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'm gonna tell you something your man told me.
Apocalypse is great. Like Charles and Eric, like I get it. I see why we do it. I understand it. I just personally, like, it was a little weak for me. And then just some of the decisions the other characters were making, and like how we had to obviously kind of like dumb people down to get to where we needed to be. I get it, how it has to happen for the plot sometimes, but I feel like there's always a way to do these type of things where it just makes sense. Like people fail at stuff sometimes. Like that's true. Like, but they can still try.
I agree. I will also say this episode for me got a little bit of a knock because, and I don't know if I'm maybe just comparing this because of animation stuff and if this is just a budgeting thing for them. I would have liked the X-Men versus Sabah fight to be a little bit more dragged out. Like I do, obviously they were all going to lose. And I'm not saying that any of them are as strong as Apocalypse. But, Nightcrawler just getting like, slammed to the ground and kicked off, and then Rogue just getting punched in the gut and kicked away.
It was over.
Like, it was over, which is fair. Like, obviously, like that could have been the ending moment, but I wish we could have seen the same way that we saw Magneto kind of fight Apocalypse. It would have been cool to see those X-Men fight in Sabah and just a little bit
because
more.
They got right back up. They were still
exactly. So it, like, it would have been cool to see them do a little bit more action there, a little bit more stuff there. But I don't know if there was some budget cuts and something there. But it's animations. I don't know.
The show also just moves very quickly, so they trying to get back.
That is true. But overall, though, I did like the episode. I had a good time. The after credit scene of after Bishop helps bring Xavier back to the 90s. We see an after credit scene of Wolverine, also in the 90s. He meets up with Black Widow and Captain America, and Captain America gets him some information. We see that it's from Weapon X, and he's like, Logan, what are you doing? Like, it's going to be dangerous to go back in here. Wolverine's like, I got a team I put together. Don't worry, I got this. And we see the next episode is going to be called Weapon X Lies and DVDs, which is a play on the original series. There was an episode called Weapon X Lies and Videotape. So I think it's kind of cute that they kind of updated it to, DVDs from Videotape. But we'll probably see Wolverine get his adamantium back. Okay. We'll probably see him get his adamantium back on this next episode. But overall, I thought this one was pretty solid. I had a good time. Like I said, I would have preferred for the fight for the X-Men fighting
and Sabanor to have been a little bit longer. And that would have felt like a little bit more, I don't know, some better stakes there for me. But overall, I would give the episode probably a 8 out of 10, and I would give it, from a fan perspective, an 8 out of 10, and from animation also an 8 out of 10.
Out of 10, like, fan, I'd give it like a 5.5, and the other I'd give it like a 7.
Okay.
Great animation. I thought like it was fine. Like the writing stuff is always good. Like, hey, I get it. I think a lot of people were saying, it was supposed to kind of have that same impact as the Genosha episode from the first season, but I didn't feel that at all.
I do expect this to become a thing for Magneto, and I wonder what you think about this as well. Obviously, a lot of people don't always read the comics for things, and they do kind of get their information based off of shows. Do you feel like it'll become a known thing that, Apocalypse kills Magneto? Personally, I do think that, yes, Magneto probably does need to eventually die. Of his deaths, my favorite one was probably when he died to Nimrod. I thought that was a way he should have gone. I do think this death is probably the second favorite one behind Nimrod. I do prefer if he dies to like the unstoppable force villain of the X-Men. But I do think he needs to die. But do you think that this will become like the known thing for Magneto? That, Apocalypse kills Magneto.
I think it'll be known, but not necessarily like in the way that I think you mean. I think it'll be like seen as the way that people look at that panel of Dr. Doom ripping that man's spine out.
Thanos' spine, yeah.
Yes, like it's very much going to be like, Apocalypse is the GOAT. He can do anything.
Or a moment. Got it.
Here's him killing Magneto. Who's going to stop it? But not like, Magneto dies by Apocalypse.
Like, you don't think it'll become a canon event that people know that, as soon as the story happens and Apocalypse is around, eventually he's going to kill Magneto.
Magneto's going to die.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a GOAT moment for Apocalypse, which we support. But, yeah, that's it.
I wonder if there'll ever be a thing for Magneto. Like that. Will there ever be? Yeah.
I mean, my opinion on it. He needs to go. Anything he can do, Lorna can do better. You saw him struggling and grunting with that black hole in that ship. The doll would have been in there just zoop, 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 zoop. What's next? She wouldn't have been passing out in the desert to get vaporized.
Big Poe would have been fine.
Like, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to keep saying it. And, I love Charles, and I have for a long time, but just like, I just really feel like we have all just really moved to point to like, they don't need it. He can go. Magneto can go. Sorry.
I think the franchise has moved beyond them. This has been a glaring example of it, for sure. Like, this entire series really has been. And that includes the first season. Like, we've moved beyond this.
We just don't need to be here. Y'all don't need to be here. Like, I'm sorry. Go somewhere. Go do something else.
And I don't know if that's like the 90s of it all, but like we don't need y'all here no more.
And even the ideologies they have, there are other characters who can still hold those things in the same weight in their memories. Like, we get like, I actually think their legacies will be more impactful if you let them leave. And just like everyone's trying to live up to it. At this point, like, again, in the comics, Charles is gone. He's living off his best life with his wife. Magneto was sick in the chair, but it's like, even then, when he's around,
they're trying to bring him back now.
It's just like, you can go do something else. You don't have to be here to be like the voice of reason. We grown.
Don't you want to go sit down?
Yes, he does.
He does. He does. He always says it. They just never let him.
It's like, the only thing they don't let him. He go do it and he like, actually, what's going on down there? comebacks in the eyes.
He could just get sat down. Maybe he needs to be depowered. You know, because then someone's always going to bring his powers back.
It's going to be Lorna on a journey to give her daddy his powers back.
No, don't do that to my girl. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know what? And that brings us to the end of the show. Please make sure you guys rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcast at Another Relaunch. You can watch us on YouTube at Another Relaunch TV. You can email us at anotherrelaunch@gmail.com. You can find me on most social media platforms at UncannyLZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
You guys know you can find me at Keenan Lights.
Period. We'll catch you next. Oh, you know what? To the people out there who'll be playing with me in Marvel Rifles, I'm not going to say all your names on there because I can't remember them. There's a new update. Storm players. Keep it raining, baby girls. Like, keep the rain coming. It heals. Okay? Keep it coming. I appreciate this. Yeah, they've added like a whole new like update basically where they said if everybody's OP, nobody's OP. So and everybody has like an extra ability now. And one of Storm's, everyone has an extra ability where you get to like pick one. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a team up ability now. You get to pick one and then it becomes enhanced if that other character is on your team. So Storm, for example, she gains this ability to make it rain, and when she makes it rain, it heals. Or if she has Jeff the Shark on her team, she also gets like her Jeff tornado thing, which is like people love that. Yeah, the shark sells.
Yeah, I know. Need some shark fin soup.
That's wild. All right, y'all. Anyway, let's get up out of here. We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.